I'm Pete Nowaski, and I'm at the Donnie Smith Show in St. Paul, Minnesota. And in this video, we're going to talk to Brock Davidson from Brock's Performance and talk about how Brock's and Nowaski are helping to influence the performance motorcycle industry.
How's it going, everybody? This is Matt with Nowaski Performance, and today I'm here with Brock from Brock's Performance. For those who may not know, Brock, maybe introduce yourself and give me some, backstory on your company and some things like that.
All right. Well, my name's Brock Davidson, owner of Brock's Performance. I came from a long line of sport bike racing, and really, I raced, sponsored from American Suzuki for drag racing back in late 90s, early 2000s, and had claim to fame as being the first 7-second street bike a long time ago. I'm dating myself there, aging myself. But I started Brock's Performance out of my garage, and I sort of ran it. I needed a real job so I could pay my real bills and pay, for my family. But I always did motorcycle stuff on the side. When I was a kid, I would help get the neighbors' motorcycles or mini bikes running, and we'd go have fun. Just been doing it for a really long time, and my regular job, we had a problem. The VP, he ended up passing away, and I thought, I've had people, some of the industry, like Rick Ward asked me years ago, hey, Brock, you want to come work for me? I was like, I don't want to ruin a perfectly good hobby. So I didn't actually start Brock's Performance technically until 2001. We incorporated then, concentrated 100% on sport bikes, did really well, grew fast, and learned business. That's an important thing. I just want to make motorcycles go fast, but if it's going to be your life, you need to learn business, learn how that works in conjunction with the products that we develop. So in 2013, V-Twins made up 0% of our revenue. And I noticed a trend in the industry. Our sport bike customers were trading in their Hayabusas and ZX14s and GSXRs for street glides and road glides. And I'm like, well, that's cool. I hope they like their bikes. Well, then it started coming to me, Brock, these bikes are really heavy. They're really not very fast. They don't stop. They don't turn. I'm sure you could do something, to help them out. So I bought a road glide, and on the way home from the dealership, my mind started just going, wow, I could really do some things to make this bike work better. And first started working on suspension. BST at the time had carbon fiber wheels that you could make fit on a Harley, but that's not really what they were designed for. So I started working with them. We came up with a really nice design for them, and I was amazed at how much lighter. My 900-pound motorcycle, I put just the wheels on it, left the stock brakes and everything, and removed about 30 pounds of rotating mass off the wheels. Well, for every 1 pound you pull off rotating mass, it's like taking 5 to 7 pounds of static off the bike. So we pull off 30 pounds. Did it feel 150 pounds lighter? It really did. Every bit of it felt 200 pounds lighter. The brakes that all I did was bitch about all of a sudden worked okay. The suspension worked better. I had rattles in my tank that drove me crazy that went away. It's like, okay, this is good. Let's keep this going. Started doing aluminum swing arms, various other items just to try to reduce reduce mass, reduce unsprung weight, try to get the suspension working, like they need to, as you would well know how important it is on these bikes. And the next thing you know, I think right now Harley-Davidson, or American V-Twins, Indians also included, make up about 35% of our product sales, and it's our fastest growing market. And believe it or not, lightweight carbon fiber wheels for big, heavy Harleys, they're really beginning to come around. I tell people the first time we came to the show, and I forget, it was 5-6 years ago, we're showing these lightweight wheels around, big wheel baggers and all this stuff. They looked at us like we had two heads.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Why would you want that? Smaller wheels, what?
And then as things progressed and people in the industry started using them and really, you go over and look at Rick Ward's bike. That thing
oh my gosh.
Is that not artwork?
That is such a cool bike.
It is. And when you look at something like that, you go, wow, you put that together with a couple hundred horsepower and you've got the ability to go out and embarrass some sport bike guys that that don't know, if they don't know how to ride, they're gonna have a hell of a time with that bike. So anyway, it's just fun. It's a passion of mine. It's great that the business is doing well. Get to meet incredible people. Our sales, of course, since we started coming here in this particular area, they're up 60% from where they were previously. So the people that come to the show, some of them, they don't quite get it, but we noticed, especially yesterday, there was so much more interest than there was previously, which lets us know the word's getting out. Yeah. They're not dangerous, they're actually quite a bit safer than a lot of metal wheels. So we're in a really good direction right now. We plan on keep on doing that, coming up with innovative parts that no one else has.
So a couple of things. The first time I held up a BST wheel, it was spooky. Like, that's something that a motorcycle relies on could be that lightweight. And you've sent me some videos of demonstrations of how strong the carbon is. It's really impressive, and I would imagine that the more carbon wheels you get on bikes, the more people are starting to realize, like, okay, this is trustworthy. Obviously, there's more and more bikes popping up around with them, and I'm sure that that's been helpful for you guys. It's just more trust, I guess, because it's like you hold one up and it's like a foreign object. You're like, there's no way that this is a wheel.
A lot of people are like, is this real?
Yeah. It's crazy. The other thing I was thinking about too is, like, coming from the sport bike background, could you ever imagine that the Harley-Davidson world would be what it is now?
The Harley world has always been, bigger. You start talking 06, 07, that was really the prime with the sport bike guys. And from there, it's sort of fallen off, but Harley has really maintained. And, you look at today, the bikes are pretty expensive. But there are literally millions of them sitting in garages that if you take one of those motorcycles, get it for a decent price, put on our swing arm, put on our wheels, put some decent suspension underneath it, maybe a little bit of engine work just to give it that kick. Well, now you've got a really, really nice bike that in the big picture didn't even cost half what a new stock bike would cost, and you'd have to do the same stuff if you wanted to make it cool anyway. So you can spend a lot at an entry level, or you can spend a reasonable amount. We even make, simple things like this bike over here has we make triple trees that the width is Generation 2 Hayabusa or GSXR, and the neck and handlebar mounts are Harley. So you can literally buy a $350 front end off of eBay, wheel, brake, rotor, shove them up in there, and now I love Harley Davidsons, but they don't have really good brakes. You can take a set of sport bike brakes off a bike like a Hayabusa that's designed to run 186 miles an hour or more, and put that on a Harley, and all of a sudden you've just got phenomenal brakes compared to what you had. And of course, then it's a direct bolt-on. If you want to put some Brimbos on there, whatever you need to do, put some different rotors. It just makes it easy to add
more
those
options.
components, and it's not a lot of money.
Right.
You know, so there's different ways to go about it.
So we're here at the Donnie Smith show. How long have you been coming to this show?
5 or 6 years. I'd have to ask my wife. She's better at that stuff. We've been coming here for a little while now, and we don't really set up that much anymore. We're an internet business, you know. If I can't get a hold of a customer with this, I'm doing something wrong. But the reality is a lot especially when it comes to something like carbon fiber. If they can see it, touch it, feel it, then that helps spread the word, and then the stuff they see on the internet makes a little more sense to them.
Yeah.
So we stop at very select events. Of course, we do Sturgis, but Donnie Smith show. One Saturday at a Donnie Smith show, you get more people than you will in a whole lot of the other shows in the entire weekend, or even multiple shows. This thing works great, and they're all performance enthusiasts. I can't think of any place in the country where you can get this many people dedicated to a show that's all motorcycles. So they've done a great job up here. Donnie, of course, been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
So the people in the area, they sort of know what to expect and know what to like. We're working a little bit with Rob, from Donnie's Space.
Yeah.
He's doing a build with carbon fiber wheels. He said he's got the wheels right up front at Donnie's, and he said people will come in the door and they gravitate to them.
Yeah.
What the hell are these? So, and when you get somebody with the prestige of Donnie Smith that is willing to put his name behind a motorcycle that's using our products, it's flattery. I've got goosebumps. Really.
Yeah. So, do you have anything for 2025 that's maybe newer, or anything exciting that you guys have going on with your product line?
Tell you. No, I'm teasing. Yes, we are trying. We're trying to really do the absolute opposite of what Harley-Davidson has done in the past. Of course, they just released their 131 RR. It's got some trick features to it, and I'm not trying to be grandiose, but the way carbon fiber works, we can come up with some really, really nice products that truly and very effectively work better than even something like the bridge swing arm that they've got on the Bagger Racing League type bikes and Moto America. We can come up with something that's lighter, stronger. We can control the amount of flex if we want it. There's a lot of engineering involved. We work very closely with BST and their engineers, and we'll basically, hey, this is sort of what we're thinking about. Now you guys go do the FEA, and you find the hot spots and whatever you've got to do to make a piece of fabric with glue on it work as well or better than a machined, a metal part. Let's do our thing and work it together. And the thing that's really nice, in South Africa, you don't see Harleys. They're not there. I mean, a lot of the new bikes will come out. We'll get our hands on them. We'll do the measuring. We'll send the specs over to BST if they don't have them themselves. Of course, they have people in Europe and other parts of the world do the same thing. We all just sort of work as a team so that we can get these really cool, high-level, super trick parts available to the V-twin world. And it's stuff that you're not going to find. You're not going to find it over here. You'll find some carbon fiber stuff there. Some guys doing some nice work. But when it comes to true structural carbon and that type of engineering, BST, there's a reason that they make every single carbon fiber wheel that Ducati puts on a motorcycle. It's because Ducati trusts BST. If Ducati can trust BST, I promise we are selling stuff that your average consumer can really trust.
So, what do you, as far as consumer trust goes, how important do you think it is for the average person to understand who they're buying a product from? There's a lot of people like Rick Ward or us at Nowoski,
Sure.
we've all been working on this bigger goal of creating. We all have a different idea of what a masterpiece of performance bikes looks like.
Sure.
But how important is it for a consumer to buy something from brands that are actually doing that, not just putting a part online and selling it?
Well, it's absolutely critical for your brand reputation, and especially these days with social media. If you decide, take care of it your damn self, the customer, what do they say? You may not ever hear from a happy customer, but an unhappy one, you'll hear from him and he'll tell all his friends or her friends or whoever, and the next thing you know, you've got a bad rap in the industry, and reversing that can be absolutely impossible sometimes. So we are very, very cautious of the fact that it doesn't matter what you're purchasing. It doesn't matter how big your wallet is. We treat everyone exactly the same. And especially when we have products, we've got some pretty high-end stuff. I mean, if you're going to spend upwards of $5,000 on some super trick carbon fiber wheels, you want to make sure that if you have any kind of issue, you get a hold of us. And we will jump in, and the manufacturing on these things is so good these days that we really don't have to get in the way of the manufacturer anymore. But we'll cure the problem with the customer, and then we'll deal with the manufacturer later. That's our business. That's what we do. And we have a full-time customer service team. We've got 4 people that are on the phones, 8 to 5 Eastern time, and then we have a very, very in-depth website. A lot of knowledge. We even have AI that will direct messages. If you're after hours, it'll direct the message to if it can't answer the question that you have, it'll direct it to whoever's on our staff that knows the answer to that question the best. I mean, it's really, really, really high tech, because we don't want you to think that we're leaving you hanging. You make a purchase, okay, that's good, bye. No, we've got a lot of repeat customers. We've got hundreds and hundreds of dealers all across the United States, Europe, the Middle East, everywhere. And we service all of those customers, all of those businesses exactly the same, and that means being the best we know how to be, and it helps. It helps a lot.
Yeah. Well, I think this is pretty good. I guess if you just want to close it out with, your name again and your company, and any other final thoughts that you might have.
Brock Davidson, Brock's Performance. If you're looking for something different that you're not going to find in a lot of the other businesses in the industry, check out brocksperformance.com, see what you think. Like I said, we have a customer service team. If you got any questions, there's plenty of questions that they'll arise when it comes to, especially something like carbon fiber, because it's just not as well known as it will be. I mean, there's a reason that they make airplanes out of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And we are using the latest aerospace technology to make sure we have great products for your motorcycle. And then we also bring in other unique products from all over the world, from Italy, Japan. This really, really, and we try to concentrate on the highest quality stuff, really good stuff, so that you get the best product you can for you're spending good money on it. You want to make sure you get what you pay for.
Well, there you have it, guys. This was Brock from Brock's Performance, and we'll see you on the next one.